Neighbors. When my mom passed away, my dad was alone 50 miles away in their home, but there were neighbors who were nothing short of amazing. In particular, there was a couple that lived next door for 5 years, and for 4.5 of those years, it was during my mom's struggle with Alzheimer's, and after 6 months helping my dad clean out the house and adjust. They were there at a critical time and incredibly present and faithful. And after my mom's passing, at the end of those 6 months, they moved to Iowa. It became so clear to me that God put them in our lives for a time. That's really the heart of the gospel, not to miss the opportunities God gives us to be neighbors for a time. And if you really think about it, it's a time that we are neighbors for one another all the time. Even the great TV neighbors, the Mertzes and the Ricardos, the Richards, Mary Richards and Rhoda Morgenstern, the Flintstones and the Rubbles, they were all together for a time. So on some level, it's about awareness, not to miss the time that Jesus calls us to be neighbors. The three people in the gospel today see the man lying by the side of the road. They're not bad people, but only one sees that now is indeed the time to be a neighbor to him, it says. First, there's a priest. He's doing good work, but he's too busy doing good work to see the needs that are around him. Our good work can sometimes blind us to the needs that are around us. Secondly, there's a Levite, one who serves, a family person, absorbed by all the needs around him. He's doing all he can. He's so absorbed in the spinning plates of his life that he fails to recognize the moment before him. And lastly, the Samaritan. He had his worries too, but what makes him the good Samaritan? Because he cared, because he stopped? I think it's because he saw. He saw that this was the time. Because he did that, he changed that man's life forever. He rewrote history. There's a line in the musical Wicked that says, people come into our lives for a time, for a reason, and we have been changed for good. We're called to be aware of the time in our spiritual lives. The challenge is going to be knowing the neighbors who come into our lives that bring us closer to living the gospel, and how through helping the wounded, we ourselves have been changed for good.